Christchurch's C96.
You've ever noticed that when you stare at your fingers for a long period of time, they start transforming into like alien looking attachments on your body, and these ordinary fingers start looking seriously creepy. And the same goes for so many traits on the human body we take for granted, that funny things make us yell out spastically, also known as laughing, and that we spend one third of every day in a death-like state known as sleep. But if you really think about those things, they are truly bizarre. One of the oldest tricks is the old standby. It's storing cash inside a mattress. It's been done for a long time, but no thief in their right mind will be able to get it out without waking you up. One of my other tips is called the canned cash. Open a can from the side or the top and empty the contents of the can. Make your deposit and place in your pantry next to the other cans. The thief will be none the wiser. Another idea, if you want to hide your cash at home, is called the flower bank. Bury a sack of cash in the soil at the bottom of a vase full of fake flowers. Of course, no burglar is going to look in a vase full of flowers. Now, this one is probably my favourite one. It's called the foxhole. What you need to do is seal your cash in a plastic bag, dig a hole and make a deposit. Just make sure you put a landmark so you know where you've hidden your own cash. And the last and final one, if you do want to stash your cash, is called the ivory tickler. Now, all you need to do, it's real simple, is hide an envelope of cash somewhere inside your piano. Who knew you could add so many notes to your baby grand? So that's just some little ideas if you want to stash your cash and ready for an emergency. Whether you went to Burnside High, Shirley Boys, Rangirooro, St Margaret's, Christ College, we all learnt the fundamentals of science. And science wasn't one of my strongest points, I wouldn't lie to you. But in saying that, it was very important. And for you kids that are on school holidays at the moment, you have got your exams coming up, so you better be studying for science, because we do use it in everyday life. And one of the things we did in science when I was a kid that I clearly remember is having to get water, just normal tap water, freeze it, and then make it evaporate. Now that there is some quite simple science. But saying that ice is slippery is like saying that water is wet. It's something we've known for as long as we've known anything. I think it's probably fair to presume that humans knew ice was slippery before we knew fire was hot, or even that we knew it existed. But ask why. The big question, why is ice slippery? And they won't be able to give you any better explanation than one of those cave people would have. But we just don't know why it is that you can ski on ice, but not on boulders. And before you laugh, think about it for just a tick. It's actually just one of those mysteries of science. Why is ice slippery? Although at this point, most of you are probably screaming at me, it's 'cause it's water, stupid! And that's more or less the answer that scientists have always concluded. Even in some modern textbooks, you can still read, unlike most substances, ice expands when it freezes. But this isn't really the answer. So when you walk on it, you're actually compacting it back into its slippery old water, right? Well, too bad that's bull. Experiments have shown that your puny body doesn't do nearly enough pressure on the ice to squeeze even a tiny bit of liquid out into it. So what is the reason? Why is ice slippery? Well, I'll have that for you shortly. In the meantime, I've been talking about some of the reasons why ice is slippery and how it's a bit of a mystery to scientists, but I have got the 3 reasons that I think maybe why ice is slippery. And it's quite funny that you think it's something quite simple that they'd just know the reason why ice is slippery, but apparently it's quite complicated. So there are some theories. None of them are really better than the other, but I think the first one makes the most sense. One theory, which is quite popular, is that the surface of ice remains liquid because there is nothing but open air on one side. So that's the one that makes the most sense to me. But there's 3 here. You make up your mind. Another theory is that scientists have put forward this idea that ice is not actually slippery at all. Yes it is. Okay, this totally sounds like something that science would proclaim while waving a gun in your face to make you stop asking stupid questions. But apparently, one of the theories is that ice is not slippery at all. And the third theory is that is from a guy called Dr. Salmro, who thinks that the roughness on the surface of ice is actually so high that ironically it becomes slippery. So I think the first one makes the most sense, but you can make up your own mind. But yeah, scientists don't really know why ice is slippery. And you think it'd be quite simple, don't you? It's a universal human response to social attention. Do you think you know what it is? I'm talking about when you have to stand up at school or at work and do a presentation, or when someone embarrasses you in front of maybe somebody you like and you go a little bit pink. Everyone blushes, some more than others, but I want to talk about the blush biology behind it. Now, it's veins in your face. They dilate when you get embarrassed, and there's a blood flow to your cheeks, which make you have this rosy complexion. However, the interesting thing is that scientists are stumped, totally stumped, as to the Y factor of what blushing serves. And if you think about it, it doesn't serve anything, I don't think. It just makes us look even more silly after we've been embarrassed. Laughing is weird. Why do we do it? Well, if we look back to our sort of distant relatives, the chimps and the orangutans, now they do smile and they do laugh in social situations just like we do. And the scientists think they have found out why we laugh. Now, laughing apparently is a bit like panting. When our ancestors back a long time ago, the Neanderthals, yeah, so I'm talking a long time ago, they used to play and they used to get all panty, which apparently evolved into us getting all laughy. So panty, laughy, us laughing. Apparently that's where it came from. I'm not sure about that, but I mean, we all do laugh at least 18 times a day. And so you can think back to our Neanderthals and think, your panting turned into my laughing. You're on C96.
In it with you.